so much fun, man. Having your friends around you and everyone's just like all dedicated to the same thing was just fabulousness.
Yeah, it's so nice to just be doing something new. I think they're really excited to be like touching on this whole 80s thing.
You fit into it really good. All the beautiful flamboyant weirdness of the 80s rolled into this modern sort of encapsulation of it. Like, shit, Doja Cat, welcome back. Boom.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. You're here, and with an absolute smasher, we're going to talk about that. How's your spirit? How's life?
It's good. Life's good. I have just been kind of relaxing. I've been more peaceful than I've really ever been.
What do you put that down to, do you think? Are you at a point where you can reflect on why?
I think it's because I guess I got some blackout curtains.
It helps.
And so I'm just watching a lot of movies lately.
Yeah.
That's like what I do now. And I never used to like give shows and movies a chance, really. I was like it had to be like hyped up before I tried anything.
Well, that says that you have found a space to be able to be comfortable, not necessarily doing you.
Yeah. And like it was so much just like making music in the last, year. So it's nice to I always want to, but I think like, it's just nice to be home with my boy.
Yeah, man. And to achieve something, know you've done it and give yourself a little space. It's getting busier. I watched the day after I watched your stream of Outside Lands. I clicked on it the next morning. I was fascinated because I hadn't seen you on a stage that big for a while. And I have to say, and I texted my friend afterwards and I was like, holy shit, you have to see this. Like, it was so amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Like, you've got your band and they're brilliant, but it's just you.
Thank you.
And you're holding that show down the whole time.
Thank you so much.
And you make it look really easy, and I know it's not. How did that feel for you getting out in front of a crowd like that, knowing that you had Jealous Type ready to go, you were sitting on it, you have new music, a new era? Must have felt a little bit like a victory lap quickly before you kick it back into gear again.
It's exciting, but I think it's also like I haven't sung that song yet live. And I was barely singing it during rehearsals because I didn't have that long of rehearsals. And so it's scary. Like I would use the word scary to describe that. But I'm excited because I'm going to be doing it for, our next run.
It's yours now. It's yours for life.
Yeah. And I'm just so excited about it. I want to play it all the time for people. And I obviously want to leak everything immediately after I make it.
Some things never change.
Even when they sound like shit.
It's funny, because we got to know you through the internet, like a lot of your generation and people. It was like, I've got this tool, I'll just use it, right? I'm bored, I'll do some cool creative shit. And then people decide who they fall in love with. And then you get to decide what you do with our attention. Okay, I'm going to make a career out of this. I'm going to do it my way. And you just got to come for the ride and leave that old shit behind. But your relationship with that must have changed. But you just joke about some things still being at your fingertips and still tempting you to just kind of want to lean into what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's a disruptive place.
Sure. I think it's important to have that sort of disruptiveness to your life as a creative. Otherwise, then what's the point? I think you can't really make any new philosophies or points or things that make you feel like you're evolving or moving forward. But I've just really enjoyed talking about things that I have talked about, but in a different way.
Yeah.
I think I love talking about love. And I also think music is just such a door for talking about love and expressing love in its different forms. I mean, people being like, baby, in every song that's ever been made.
Yep.
So I think this is that for me. This is
that album.
This is my baby album.
This is your baby album.
Yeah. It's kind of that 80s tacky, romance sort of spin, but in a way that relates to me personally.
But the personal thing must have come first, right? I mean, obviously going out there in front of the Eiffel Tower and bringing that little je ne sais quoi to the equation and having fun with it is one thing, but you need a body of work to wrap that around.
Yeah.
And it sounds like this started from a personal place. Not everybody leans into that space. They keep it to themselves and choose other emotions in life to write about. The love is too strong for you. You wanted to tribute it
Yeah, I mean, people kind of associate Libras with
My wife's a Libra, so you're in
with
good company.
romance.
Yeah.
And being a romantic. And so I think that's something that's just maybe my calling or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
How
I
was
enjoy it.
how was the subject matter to write about? Coming from a very personal, you've always been very honest in your writing, but sometimes it's drama, and sometimes it's angry.
Well, there's other things outside of myself that were inspiring me to write about these things.
Yeah.
I had been in relationships that made me think about things in a different way. And I think, naivety is like a big part of this album too. I speak about sort of rushing and sort of love bombing in a way. That's kind of a big one. I think that's a fun subject to sing about.
Yep. What is that? How define that term from your point of view? Because I've heard it a couple of times in my life.
I think sometimes people don't know that they're doing it, or they do. But giving excessive compliments and gifts right off the bat, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really fun thing to write about, and also being okay with, this is a separate subject, but being okay with when someone finds someone else and understanding that and taking value from it as a lesson. Essentially, like
Seasons.
Yeah, and understanding that you did something good there, and that's a good thing that you did something good for that person.
That's your passport to a new love, because and that's why it's so heartbreaking when us as humans or the people we care about can't find that peaceful place.
Yeah.
Because it means that the next relationship's already going to suffer.
Yeah.
Out the gate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what have we if not our relationships? I personally think that's the whole purpose of humanity.
Well, that's kind of why the title of the album is V, because it obviously kind of like turned into a whole thing, because it started with the triple V, which is 555.
Yeah.
But life, what is life without love?
Right.
Is kind of the point of the whole title of the album.
Something that you've probably been, like all of us, searching for in your life with increasing desire, increasing meaning, right? And now you think that you have an album dedicated to it in its truest form today. And sort of, how do you feel about the kid, the younger you that was searching for that probably made mistakes and did all those things to find what true love really is, right? Because you can't find it out the gate, I don't think. I think you have to make mistakes.
No. Yeah, you can't. You definitely. I mean, some people have really good examples of love early on in their life.
Good instincts early on,
yeah. Good instincts and having like parents that set a beautiful example for that. I think that's important, but not a lot of people don't have that. And so it's up to you to kind of search for that knowledge and wisdom through, therapy or whatever sort of conversations might help you. But I think therapy has been like my main.
Same.
Yeah, and this album really grew from my sessions in therapy and being so like kind of gung-ho on like being there twice a week and doing it and learning about the human experience and how our brains function subconsciously and consciously.
The wiring of it all, right? Like how we process things. And for me, it was always processing through my body and not letting my mind do its job.
Yeah.
And that was tough for a long time. So I figured that part. Can I sit there for a second with you and just talk about self-awareness and self-kindness and sort of those areas in this process of therapy that allowed you to create a joyful sounding record? You can't do that unless you can look at yourself and actually appreciate who you are. Has that been a journey for you?
Sure. I think everyone's so different, right? I mean, there's people who are, in a creative process. I don't know if it's so much like you have to appreciate and love yourself to make a great piece of art, because there's been a lot of shit in the past of people. Van Gogh cut his damn ear off. I mean, I wouldn't do that to myself. But
this album feels like you you have. This isn't a cutting your ear off album.
Yeah. No, this is something where I wanted to return back to something that I knew that I was good at. And I know that I'm good at tongue-in-cheek. And I know that, like, I love to sing. And I just have been working on my voice and my instrument, and I feel like I can do a lot more things that I could never do.
At the end of Jealous Type, man, you go for it, and it's like, it's amazing.
Thank you. I couldn't sing. I really couldn't sing. Like, I remember when I couldn't sing. I feel like there's singers who have been singing their whole life. But like I really recently started. And so it's you know, I love this project because I feel like it's just a more evolved, more mature version of whatever I've been doing since the beginning.
This is who you are today, Doja Cat. Like, I'm looking at this amazing image of you right in front of me, which leans into this idea of, like I said, this je ne sais quoi, this French fabulousness of a certain period in time. And the song reflects that. It's got that Jam and Lewis, straight up, loose ends, just heavy bottom end funk to it. But in between the Scarlet era where you're touring, and that's who you are then, and you are like a classic artist in the sense that, to me, you shapeshift. Like Bowie shapeshifts. Like, great artists come back and they're like, this is what inspires me. I'm going to inhabit it 100%, right? But there must be a space in between the Scarlet era and the V era where you get to just be you away from this and everything else.
Right.
What did that feel like this time around? What did it feel like coming off the back of Scarlet and knowing that next time you come back, it'll be a different Doja?
I think that it's just there's a marbling of like what I want to see in the future and what I was. And in between, it's two of the same thing. It's a bit messy. I really, in between those two visual projects, it was kind of like I knew what I wanted, but I wasn't, I go home and I play Fortnite. I don't really, I'm not dressing up. And if I go out, I can't, I don't. I do. I have. People know that.
Wait, which one is it?
I shouldn't go out. But I do sometimes. To a healthy amount now. So I try to stay home and just like, I look at all the new incredible makeup artists and designers and stylists on Instagram. And
absorbing your mood board.
Yeah. It's like a recharge. And I get to see what everyone's doing and be inspired by it.
Yeah. So when did this start to take shape for you? Or at least when did you realize, like, the teaser of you in Paris talking to yourself, I love that, you're here. It's like, of course, it's like this whole idea, the playfulness of it. Like, when did you jump in the DeLorean and go back to the 80s and really start to absorb that?
You know what it is? It's the 80s reminds me, or I know nothing about it. Let me start there because I'm 29.
Factually correct.
I am born in 95.
Factually correct.
But my mother, like, she didn't grow up in the 80s, but she, it's like you think of your friend's parents or whatever, the past and like what you never could have been.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to understand that more. And I want to depict it in my own way, maybe give it a modern twist or something, but like there's comfort in that.
No, it makes sense because I think a lot of times we try to keep everyone too honest, where it's like, well, you didn't grow up in the 80s, so what would you possibly know about the 80s? And it's like, yeah, but surely my desire to go and experience it from nothing is a unique perspective. I don't want to redo what I already went through.
Yeah.
I want to see it from way down the road.
Yeah.
So what did you see? When you went into that world, what is the 80s for someone who was born in 1995?
I'm really just taking things that I like from the imagery from that time. And like, I love like, you know what I don't even really like Back to the Future? I just like the car.
That's what I'm saying. The DeLorean. It's just a cool looking car.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie. I just, I'm not like a big fan of it. I just really love the cars from that time. So I'll take anything that feels that I connect with, that I just think is sexy, and I apply it to the imagery. And I loved the red Ferrari as being like a symbol or a token, and having legs with hosiery and heels or red bottoms or whatever, because it just reminds me of an elegance or a sophistication from that time.
If there's a coldness to the 80s, which was very hot. It's like now everyone's like, that's just really cold. And it's like, no, that was really hot. Super, super slicked back.
Yeah.
Very sleek, tight, efficient design, streamlined design. you know, and I feel like they discovered color for the first time or some shit.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
Because everything was so vivid.
Yeah, it felt like, well, the synth was kind of like introduced then.
And no one knew how to use it.
Yeah.
So that's why all the number one songs are the weirdest songs ever, because everyone's just working at what preset 73 actually sounds like.
As much as it sounds awesome, a lot of the synthy, like bigger songs from that time sounded lazy almost.
Yeah, because they were just pressing a
Because they were just going
They
ding ding
were
ding
just
ding
like,
ding 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 ding
When
ding
you
ding.
turn it on for the first time and you realize that preset 41 does that, you're like, why do I have to do it? It's the first real AI. It's kind of the first AI in a weird way.
That's so full and so real and like and warm that it was. You can feel like you were there when you hear it because it's every sound is on the front. It's not being, you know, melded together like and no offense to dubstep, but just kind of like that where the sound is like it's like textural.
Yeah.
It wasn't textural.
No.
There was nothing textural about it.
No. And also it was like it's like and I had this, and we'll talk about Jack now if you like, because I went into his studio in New York and we did a piece and we hung out afterwards and got on his all his analog synths and stuff. So fun. Like all of a sudden you're on a little ARP and then it changes shape. It gets a little like interesting and it makes you feel a little bit. There's a darkness out there and you're like, shit, there's a song here.
I mean, it's endless. The things that they made back then, and they're also some of the most beautiful designs too, just physically. I have some of these things in my studio and I haven't used them once.
They look beautiful.
And it's because I don't know how to use the fucking program. Like I try to, like they're all hooked up, but I like have been putting it off. My studio's kind of been sort of a part of my stress in my house. But I wanna play with these toys. I just don't. The possibilities are endless.
Therein lies a little bit of the challenge. It's playtime when you begin. And then as things become bigger and you achieve what you want to achieve, you sort of lose a little bit of that playtime because it becomes work.
Sure.
And work is great.
Yeah.
Like Brian Eno always says, like, you cannot forget about playtime. And is that kind of what this album felt like a little bit more to you? Like getting back to the in the sense of the beginning, the playtime, like, I don't know where the fuck I am right now, but I like how it sounds.
It's fun because I have a subject matter. Like there's something that I can look at and choose what topic I want to do.
Yeah.
So it's formulaic, but I'm able to play, and at the same time, yes, I'm working with Jack Antonoff and working with a person that's new in my life. And so it's the grappling with talking about something personal and creating something fresh and then getting to know someone new. And then, you know, all of these things fell together really naturally. And he's just been such a wonderful person to work with. I really played through like the whole thing. It's just been like, I literally have a song called Silly Fun. And it's like, that's the love bombing song. But like I'm like Amen is one song off of the album that is like very goofy. And that was like, I think what I wanted to do was play with my voice in ways that are a little bit less unconventional. And so I'm kind of shrieking a little bit on this album. And that's been a lot of fun.
That's how we got to know you. We got to know you as this person who was not thinking about anyone else's concept of your creative energy. You were just doing what you wanted.
It's a theater kid energy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's obnoxious.
But listen,
here's
a few things you need if you want to be successful in this business. I think one is delusion, and the other is an ability to be able to be obnoxious as and when required.
Yeah.
You know, but then success did happen, and I feel like, once again, I want to pay my respects to you and your work ethic. There's a lot of things that you bring to the table, but you work hard. You toured Scarlett really hard. You took you took it to people and you really showed yourself as a true performer at a very high level, and we see that now. How did you feel about your own abilities coming off the back of that? Had it changed your perception of what you were capable of achieving that success and working hard for it and knowing you could do it again if you wanted to?
Sure. In a way, I think that like with Scarlett, I brought dancers on and they just make the show captivating and incredible. And I remember the second leg, I didn't have my dancers. And that was the challenge for me, as I was kind of returning back to being on stage with no dancers and finding myself alone, and what that meant. Like, who am I without my dancers? And it gave me a strong sense of freedom and understanding that, like, I have freedom, but I also have incredible people that I can look to when I want to enhance something in a certain way creatively. But I love being out there alone. I really do.
You're so comfortable on that stage.
I think that it's been done before, and it's been done so well. So why can't I? And I think that's I'm not saying like I'm that good alone, but I feel good alone.
Well, it means that when you go back to the group mentality,
Yeah.
it's not as scary knowing that you can handle it yourself.
Yeah. I think it also depends what kind of music you're doing, right? Yeah. So with Scarlet, it was a lot more emotional and personal, that album. So doing songs that are so personal and so emotional alone feels a lot better, to be honest, without, because you're expressing something that's just more visceral, and I think people want to see that. And but I really loved working with Ebony Williams, and that was just an incredible tour that I'm very, very lucky.
Yeah, it was a real tour. I mean, it was a real one laminate around your neck world tour. Like, we're going to do this thing and we're going to prove it. And that's why I loved watching you at Outside Lands, because I was like, it's like, you don't forget that shit. So as soon as the lights went down, you looked and it was like, and the whole first time I'd seen it with the big hair and the whole thing, I was like, oh shit, this is really serious. Like,
yeah, it's fun.
Every time that an artist like you shows up, because of the passion people have for who you are and what you do, but also because you can't have a hit. There's no feel-good hits anymore. Hits come with discourses. We love you. I think it's overrated. I think it's completely underrated. That is the back and forth. And you embrace that. You embrace the modern form of relationship with fans and stuff. But doing a pop album, to some degree, must lighten the mood, at least today, going forward for you, because it's pop music. It's there to be enjoyed and embraced, and it's not supposed to be ripped apart. It's supposed to be cherished.
It's truly, for lack of a better word, fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people need right now, is to remember that life can be fun, and that, it's not always so serious all the time, even though there's a lot of serious things that we do need to talk about and express as artists. I think what makes us artists are the more serious, more intense moments of our lives. And so when an artist talks about something that's really deep-rooted or serious, it can be taken as, oh, well, I don't relate to that, or I don't understand that, or I don't need to hear this after coming home from work from my 9 to 5. I don't need to hear about this person's problems. And that's totally understandable. And that's why a lot of sad music doesn't really do very well with charts and numbers and things like that. Yeah, there's times for it. There's times not for it. And right now I just want to talk about, I don't know, I feel sexy and I feel inspired, and I feel like I've learned a lot in therapy, and I can convert that into something positive.
For people who've yet to do therapy but are interested in it, perhaps trying to find a way to make it work for them, either financially or timing-wise or whatever else, how has it worked for you? What's been the biggest takeaway for you? What's the single biggest thing you've taken away from having a safe space to communicate?
I think that observing myself over the years and the things that I look back on, like, oof, I wish I didn't, or my regrets maybe, I'm able to now recognize those things before they happen. And I can look inside myself and not see myself as one person, but yet two people who, one of them is a person I'm trying to protect. And so I think that sometimes with overprotectiveness comes like you sort of turn you're blind a little bit, or you may not communicate things exactly how you'd love to communicate them, and so I've learned through therapy how to pinpoint those moments and see them way before they happen. And that just has made me feel a lot safer. And I'm big on feeling safe. Yeah. So I think that's,
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I'm the same. I've learned to embrace security and safety as things I really love. And yet I think, at certain points in your life, based on whatever you've been through or what you're trying to figure out, you often unwittingly expose yourself to these environments that aren't that. And then ask yourself all the time, like, why does this keep happening to me? Like, I don't understand.
How am I traveling all around the world and putting myself on a stage and going like this?
Yeah, exactly.
Throw a bottle.
Why am I so psycho, right? Why do I want this when I just want safety and security?
Yeah.
There's something about the artistic spirit, the desire to communicate and share one's truth and to perform it.
I think that's love. I think that creativity is love. I think that there's people who they love someone or something that they don't care where that puts them, where in the world that places them. Maybe if it's a risk. I think you risk a lot for love. And so, I mean, when a performer loves what they do, or a musician loves what they do, sometimes that entails things that are like kind of fucking uncomfortable
really
and scary. But it doesn't matter because you love that thing so much.
Well, I think it also starts out as a desire for love too, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. It's a form of love.
Yeah,
because maybe there isn't a conventional or a conventional idea of love that you truly understand. And so this feels like love to me. People telling me I'm great or dancing to my music feels like a form of love. But at some point, I think, maybe keep me honest, but I think where you find yourself today with this record is that you identify that as a form of love, but not the only form of love.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's one way.
It can't be just that way, because otherwise, you give too much of yourself for it, right?
Yeah, there's so many different fractals of what love. Love is. I mean, not it's so many things. Mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you find it in family, you find it in friends, you find it in pets, you find it in creative ventures, and yeah. And
you're in love right now. That's where you want to be all the time.
Hey.
Are you into full 80s throw? Okay. I'm just going.
I love to be in love, and also it's interesting because you can also be addicted to love.
Yeah.
You can be addicted to romance.
Yeah.
Right, and I don't mean that in the sexual sense, but there's some people who really are addicted to love, and I had to find out the hard way.
Yeah. Well, defining it's an important part of the process too.
Yeah.
Right, for you.
Yeah, but that helps define what I am speaking about, what my subject matter is when I'm making music. Mm-hmm. And it's always been that. It's always been romantic energy. Even though I've like rapped about punching people. But other than that, I don't know. I mean,
you can't have one without the other.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other.
It's a push and pull experience. So. The album is called V. Mm-hmm. It already looks like it's going to be a really great ride for all of us to watch you bring it to life.
I'm so excited.
The show is already fucking fire, and you haven't even unveiled the new songs. You're already like total performance ready.
Thank you.
So just give us a quick, before we say goodbye to this, because there's always just supposed to be a quick catch up. We don't have it. We can't talk. I don't want to talk about the album because people can't hear it.
Yeah,
but I'd love to know about the timeline of things right now for the remainder of the year and kind of how you're prioritizing and making the matrix work for you going forward, from touring, putting the album out. Like, what do we got to look forward to?
So I am going to be in Asia and Australia, China and Australia, coming up very soon. I'm not good with dates.
No,
just
neither.
go, okay, that's when we're going.
It's called the internet.
Great.
It's called the internet.
Yeah. So I have that tour coming up, and I'm rehearsing for some other, fun things.
Stuff, yeah.
Don't say it. Okay, he's shaking his head. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
I want to. But I think, I just have some fun shows coming up, and I can't wait to put my album out.